Hey Fragrance family, I'm Daver.
I'm Pep.
And we're the Fragrance Bros.
Fragrance Bros.
Coming at you again with a new review, this time with guest host Pep from The Sentinel. How are you doing, Pep?
I'm very well, Dave, and thank you very, very much for having me on.
Oh, my pleasure. Really glad to have you on. You're one of the newer reviewers out there, and you have some great videos. I'm really glad to finally get this video together. It's been a while, and you're from Australia, so the time difference is pretty crazy. So thank you for staying up late.
Thank you.
And today we are reviewing Viking by Creed. All right, so let's get straight to it. Date introduced is 2017, this year. It's classified as a woody aromatic. Notes are bergamot, lemon, bay rose, peppercorn, Bulgarian rose, peppermint, sandalwood, vetiver, patchouli, and lavandin absolute. Now, Pep, what do you get out of longevity out of this?
Longevity, Dave, is actually pretty good on my skin. I get up to 8 hours, but by the end, it's pretty much just a skin scent.
On me, I think I got a little bit less, actually. So for me, it was pretty much in the poor range. I would say I probably got around 5 hours, something like that. So kind of disappointing on that for a Creed.
For a Creed, this is actually done very well on my skin. I don't usually get this good a performance from other Creeds.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. Some of their lighter fragrances like Millesime Imperial.
Yeah.
What about projection?
Projection on me is quite soft. It probably is a couple of feet in the first hour, and then it really comes back to pretty much a skin scent after that. So projection wasn't great, I thought.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. On me, yeah, right when you spray it, which is usually the strongest time,
Yeah.
it seemed like it was barely in the average range for, just barely pushing out. And then it just becomes a skin scent really quickly. I wanted more out of this, honestly.
Yeah.
Season, I think this would be great for spring and maybe summer nights. And I think this could also work in fall. And I think this could work day or night as well. And purpose, I think this is great for formal. And I think this could also be used in a work situation as well. All right, so Pep, what does this remind you of?
It's funny. What it actually reminds me of is other Creed fragrances, Dave. The three in particular that I got here were, I get elements of Millesime Imperial, particularly in the opening with some of that citrus. I get elements of Royal Oud with the pink pepper, the spiciness, and also I get some of that beautiful dry down of Bois du Portugal as well. So there's elements of all those great, what I consider really good Creed fragrances in this, but yet somehow the sum is not as good as any of those three with this one.
You know what's funny was when I was smelling this, I thought it kind of has almost an original Santal element in there as well.
Okay, yeah.
So I can totally see what you mean here. It does have kind of a mixture of some of those things. And I think also too, what you're saying is like it doesn't smell like a complete mixture of those. It seems like there's just elements of those in this. And I get that sometimes with a lot of different Creed fragrances. Sometimes certain Creed fragrances smell like they're referential to other Creed fragrances. This is definitely one of those.
Yeah. I mean, we could be smart here and say, well, they just got some really good elements from some of their best fragrances and threw them together and hope for the best. But I kind of get what they're trying to do with this, but it's just fallen a little bit short, and I don't really understand who this is, which market this is aimed at, because for someone my age in their mid-40s, I have Bois de Portugal, and I've got Green Irish Tweed, and they're fantastic fragrances, and particularly the Bois de Portugal. I've got that, and smelling Viking, yes, it's different, but I feel like I don't need this one.
I totally agree. Like, it seems like they're kind of making this a sequel to Aventus. And to me, Aventus, it had kind of a broader appeal in the age range. So some of their fragrances, to me, kind of seem like they're great for an older crowd. And then Aventus was good because older men could wear it and it'd be perfectly appropriate, and then younger guys really liked it as well. Whenever they were making this, it's clear to me, like with the styling of the bottle, which is a little bit off. Like I don't know if it's like a red orange or something. It kind of doesn't look right. With the marketing too, it kind of seems like it's supposed to be an Aventus sequel, and I really don't get that connection. To me, this smells kind of old school, and not in a great way. Like they really could have done better here, I think. The performance itself was something that disappointed me a little bit because some of Creed's great fragrances that I really love, some that you mentioned, they last a good bit on me, average to excellent. And this one, I was hoping that it would last a lot longer because some of the notes in here seemed like they had a little bit of weight to it. And whenever I first spray it on, what I immediately get is citrus and oak moss. And oak moss isn't listed in here, but I definitely get like a really strong oak moss presence. Maybe it's just an accord that comes out from some of the notes in there. I like oak moss, but if oak moss is really overwhelming, it comes off as kind of a little bit dated. And also, too, there are some other oak moss fragrances out there that I think are just way better. And I can think of like Bergamot Soleil or Gris Montaigne by Dior. So this one just is a little bit dull and flat to me.
Yeah, I agree with that, and it's interesting that you pick up the oak moss because I really can't get past what I am picking up as the spicy mint they're using in this fragrance, because to me it doesn't even smell like a mint. You know, like if I'm putting my nose on a mint bush, it almost smells like the herb basil, or basil as you might pronounce it in the US. I get more of that than I do of mint, and there are some times when I'm smelling it and it almost smells like a salad dressing to me.
Wow.
It's not an offensive kind of smell. It's just not what I expect, and I think on what I'm smelling, that particular note, particularly in the opening, really sort of dominates everything, and I do even also get a bit of the saltiness that you find in Millésime Impérial as well. Yeah. But there it's blended really well with the fruit and the melon accord, whereas here it's kind of it just feels a little bit out of place to me. It's like this fragrance doesn't really know what it wants to be. Yeah.
It's funny that you said it smelled like a salad dressing. What batch did you get? I'm kidding.
I've actually got a carded sample, so yeah, let's not go into batch talk with Viking.
I do really appreciate the whole marketing side of this fragrance launch. I thought it was really intriguing, really interesting, and it seemed like they really wanted to get a lot of samples out to a lot of different people. And I know some people weren't able to get samples. My brother, my actual brother, he went on the site for the link to get a free sample, and he never got his. And there are some people out there who never got theirs, so that's really a shame.
I'm still seeing people on Facebook post that they're still waiting for theirs.
Maybe there was just a really long wait for samples. Maybe there's just the demand was too high and they're really just going to get to all of them in time. You know, once it arrives, don't get your hopes up. You know, don't put your hopes too much out there to think this is going to be amazing, because I think it's okay. You know, whenever I first spray it on, I get what you're saying, kind of that salty vibe in there. It kind of has a musky quality at the start, which a lot of Creeds do. I think they do that really well. I get the spicy aspect from the peppercorn. But what I would also say is there's a fragrance out there by a house called Yosh, and I've reviewed this. It's called Koenig. There are aspects of that this reminds me of, but that one is a little bit more modern and more complex and just better overall. So I would say if you like aspects of Creed Viking, but maybe you're a little bit underwhelmed out there, and maybe you don't like the performance of it, definitely try Koenig by Yosh, because I think it's a much better alternative. And that one's a really good one. It has a really rich leather in there. It has some oak moss and apple. It's just a fantastic scent. So I think that's all the main thoughts I have about this fragrance. Overall, it's okay, a little underwhelming, and I think there are just alternatives out there that are just better, that are stronger, that are a bit more lively than this one is. You know, with the name Viking, I was thinking it was going to be kind of dangerous and a little bit kind of raucous, but it's definitely not. It's a little bit tame and subdued and dull. Definitely not what a Viking would be, in my opinion.
Agreed.
So let's get to compliments. Pep, did you get many compliments with this?
No, I did not. The main comment, the one comment I did get was that it was a bit not something they expected me to wear. It was a bit old-fashioned.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, my wife wasn't a big fan of it either. One aspect that she appreciated was that it wasn't super strong, but she didn't really overall like the smell. It did kind of have an older type of smell, as she was saying, and she didn't really love that. Other than that, I didn't really get many compliments or any notices because it was a little bit just closer to the skin, so I didn't really get many people even smelling it. Bang for buck, this is pretty hefty. This is $495 for 100 ml. They actually just reduced the size of their bottles to 100 ml, and that's really expensive for this type of fragrance. Even for a Creed, I would say. That's kind of in the price range of like their Royal Exclusive line almost. I mean, ultimately, I just don't think it's worth it, sadly to say, for a Creed.
And I 100% agree with you, Dave.
All right, so Pep, final rating, what do you give this?
Dave, I give Viking a 3 out of 5.
I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5 as well. And I think ultimately it's okay. It's not bad. It smells good for at least the first hour. I think it just doesn't hit the high points that I was expecting a Creed fragrance to have. The performance isn't super strong. The price is pretty high. Overall, just a 3 out of 5. So that's all we have for this review. Have you tried Creed Viking? Let us know down in the comments. Do you like it, love it, hate it? Let us know. And of course, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below. I love you for it. I'll have a link also to Pep's channel, The Sentinel, where you can go and like and comment and subscribe to him as well. Thanks again, Pep, for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Dave. It was my pleasure.
We'll see you next time. We're the Fragrance Brothers. Bye. Thanks everyone for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to check out my other channel, Beast Made Reviews, where me and a friend review high quality products for men. You might like it. Go check it out.